What's up, my peoples? I am Gandhi, and today this is Gandhi's Thoughts number 29. We're getting damn close to the 30 mark, and what's crazy is I don't think I've ever done 30 videos of anything ever. But let's talk about a little bit of today. So last night when I was watching Chronicles of Riddick, which actually ended up being pretty damn good, the third one, not the beginnings one with the pitch black or the cartoon one, like the third one, which I think was the most famous one. Really, pretty damn good movie. For what it is Vin Diesel, so you can't expect too much. But so I was getting there. I was sitting. Sunday's like my day to catch up on emails, so I was getting a lot of emails, and a lot of people were saying like, "Oh yeah, AGL 7 or AGL Pittsburgh's gonna be my first event." Blah blah blah. The things are awesome. They're really looking forward to competing. So sitting there pondering to myself, I said, "Man, this is." I mean, it was a good 7 or 8 emails, and most people don't even like typing that much as it is. So that's a very very good sign for me, for the competitive scene. So I was like, maybe there's maybe 20 people that it's going to be their first event ever. And so then I'm sitting there, and then I get an alert on my phone, and it's one more email from this kid, and basically said, "This is AGL 7 is going to be my first event. What advice do you wish you had when you went to your first event?" And I was like, "Oh, now I got myself a topic here. This is magnificent." And so, I stopped to think a little bit, and then I started thinking about the whole competitive scene and how people think to themselves anyways. And so then I said to myself, well, the first things first is, I wish I could go back, if I could just like write a speech to me. The first thing I would say is don't expect instant success. And I think that's something that really a lot of people have to let sink in. I know the ego is, a son of a bitch, and it's very, very hard to contain. And, you want to think you're the best, but you do not want to expect instant success at all. You can't. And the big thing about that is, when I went to my first event, yeah, I won Virginia Beach, but, AGP3, I got top 16, right? And I was expecting, top 3, give ogres a run for their money, young gun Scott, and it's very unrealistic. And the reason why it's unrealistic isn't because, not necessarily the skill's there, which, at the time the skill wasn't there, just wasn't. But a big thing is that I mentally just wasn't prepared. I wasn't sure what obstacles I'd have to overcome. I wasn't sure what, what the crowd was going to be like. I wasn't sure, what eating was going to be like. I wasn't sure to any of that. And, every event is different. There's some events where, I eat plenty of food, and there was events where I never used to eat anything. And, that's something that really ends up taking its toll. But so, looking back, I would definitely say, one, tame the ego. That has to be done. Tame the ego, and then you show up and just try to set like a personal record. I talked about this earlier on in a blog post, but really what you want to do is you want to set a PR. Now, a PR is a personal record. Okay, so for some people, their first event, it's just going to be their PR, their personal record should really just be showing up to the event. That's it. You show up to the event, and there you go. Whatever happens from there, it doesn't matter. You set your own personal record because you actually showed up to an event. Now, you can also, so that's your PR right there. And so that's good. And what's going to happen is your brain's going to get that endorphin rush, and it's going to be good, and it's going to condition yourself like, oh, when I go to events, I feel good. Perfect. That's what you're looking to do. Then what happens is at your same first event, you want to set yourself a goal. So you go, all right, well, I hit my PR. My PR was going to this event. Now, my goal is I want, let's say it's AGL 7, or let's say it's AGL 6, which is Pittsburgh, and there's 32 teams. I want to make it to top 16. I want to win 2 rounds. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to win 2 rounds. That's 2 more than you've ever won in your entire life. Awesome. So you set the PR, you fall, you hit it. You hit your PR, right? So now, not only did you get your personal record for showing up to an event, but you also hit your goal. So now you're able to strive a little more, and you're able to keep it nice and realistic. And the big thing about being realistic is that when you obtain that goal, it's just like everything, right? It's just like losing weight. It's just like working out. It's just like running. It's just like, saving up for a car. It's a definitive number. You know what's there in front of you. So when you hit that goal, then you're able to say, okay, I'm a lot better than what I thought I was. I'm going to reach further next time. And then you're able to just snowball this and keep it going and going and going. But so the big thing here is you want to set goals in your own way. And I know goals, it's like that high school bullshit where, a lot of people don't really give a fuck about. But goals are something that definitely helps. And goals actually, end up intertwining with teams as well. I know a lot of people end up forming these like 3-minute teams. Like I was, like 3-day teams. Like, I was talking to Snake Solstice. And before AGL5, his team formed like 4 days out, and I was like, dude, like what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like that's not good in any way, shape, or form. And so it's like, oh yeah, no, things just got crazy. I wasn't really sure what was gonna happen with this and that, and I was like, dude, listen to me. I was like, what you're doing is you're doing everything wrong. And he was like, what do you mean? And so I'm trying to adjust my camera here. You guys give me one sec. And so he was like, what do you mean? And I said, listen, adequate practice is obvious, honestly, like probably 3.5, 4 weeks out from the event, correct? Like that's adequate. A lot of the pro teams though, they really shoot for, they shoot for that 2-week crunch. So you have, well, it ends up being about a week and a half crunch, right? Because you end up leaving on Thursday, you get to the venue on Friday, blah, blah, blah. So it ends up being about a week and a half. So when you're forming 4 days, I mean, you're not getting anywhere anytime fast. So what I would like to do, what I suggest to do for everyone who is trying to form a team coming into their event is take a piece of paper, just one piece of paper, okay? So we'll do this for Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh is May 10th through 12th, okay? Right now you're already kind of fucked if you haven't formed a team. But so what I would do is I would take a Post-it, just one Post-it, and I would take it and I'd write down, I would say on May 3rd, I want to have a team before. Done. Put it right there, right on my desk. I'm putting it right there on my monitor, and I'm looking at it. Every single time I'm playing, I'm looking at that. I want to have a team. And so then you'll start like actually trying to achieve that, and you'll start pushing for it, and then you'll end up hitting it. Because what happens is a fire gets lit under your ass, and you're able to actually excel, and you're able to do exactly what you want to do. So that's essentially what's there. So just to wrap this part up, goals, awesome. Set them. Personal records, awesome. Set them. Keep a book on this. I mean, I didn't ever used to keep a book, but because all my placings were posted online. Yeah. So I was able to look at all of them and be like, oh, this is a personal record. I made it to this free for all round. I made it. We did all of this in the winners bracket. We didn't drop ever down to the losers. We came back from the losers, so winners wasn't our best. These are big ass building blocks for you as a person, as a competitor. So definitely you want to put them to every use possible. So that's part one. Part two. The big thing with competing is the fact that you have to visualize success. Okay, so there's a whole science devoted to the power of thought. It's called noetic science. They believe that thoughts contain mass, that have the potential of altering an event. Okay, fucking crazy. That's like mind-blowing, wild. What the fuck is going on? Okay. And so the big thing with this is you want to think nothing but positive, but you also want to become what you like. You want to become what you visualize. Okay, so I used to go to sleep thinking about different maps. I would think about like grabbing the sniper on TS Beaver Creek. I would think about grabbing the sniper on TS Sanctuary, grabbing the sniper on Lockout. A lot of it was grabbing the sniper, right? Because that's what I used to do. But the thing was, I used to visualize it so much that I would end up having dreams about it. I would end up waking up before school, like 20 minutes, just to get one game of Halo in, right? I would wake up at 6 a.m. after going to bed at 2 a.m. just to play one more game of Halo going into the event. Like that, like 3 weeks out before an event, I would wake up like 20 minutes before school, play a game, go to school, skip out of school, come back home for lunch, come back to school after playing like one game. You end up becoming it. And what ended up happening was you end up programming your brain to see nothing but success. So you want to think positively the whole time. But on the other side here, the other thing that really fucks you is the fact that a lot of people don't want to show up to an event unless they know they are the best. And that's something that's that goes back to what I was just talking about. It's just so unfucking realistic, and you cannot think of it like that. You just simply can't. And so the quicker you realize showing up to an event your first time, it's by itself is a personal record for you, the better off you're going to be. You really have to get events under your belt. And I know it's expensive and I know it's tedious, but it's kind of the nature of the beast. But so with the whole visualization thing, the main thing you really want to achieve here is you want to be as specific as possible, right? So for me, it was like grabbing the sniper and going off on like Sanctuary or Beaver Creek or Lockout. But if you're a player like Richie Hines who doesn't grab it, your big thing should be, I would sit there and I would probably go, sorry, I got indigestion from fucking coffee. My big thing, if I was like Richie Hines, the main thing I would be doing is like going through my routes in my head, still getting like those flashy kills, but not with the sniper, just like out shooting people, knowing when to jump, jumping in my head, like on my fourth shot every single time, I'm gonna jump, immediately crouch so I get the small jump, crouch, and then jump again. Right, and then crouch again, and it's gonna make it's gonna be like a small Gandhi hop. So instead of being like this, it's like this, and it's gonna throw a lot of people off, and that's gonna be like for my triple kill. That's how I would visualize it right here in my head, and I would just keep replaying it over and over and over and over and over again, and then it would just literally become muscle memory, and then from there on out, you're gonna have no problem ever. Now, the third thing, talking about events as a whole. At an event, the big thing that you want to worry about here is my number one thing is nutrition. And I'm not talking about, I know people hear nutrition and they're like, oh my God, this guy's going to fucking try to force a salad down my throat. No, I'm not a rabbit. I don't eat salads. But so what I want to say here, the big thing about nutrition is that there's times at events where if you're making like a miraculous losers bracket run on Sunday, which Status Quo can always attest for, I can attest for, you're not eating. You have no time to eat. You are getting it shoved down your throat. You are getting force-fed Halo at its finest. There's nothing you can do about it, and that's that. At AGL, it's the same way. I mean, Warriors played, I think, for about 12 hours straight. Well, not straight, but Warriors had about 12 hours of gaming under the belt on Sunday at AGL 5. It's a lot of fucking Halo, man. Like, a lot of Halo. So, the big thing here is I would control what I can control. And so, one of the things you can control, I know a lot of people are like, oh, this guy's a fucking control freak. But the big thing is the more consistent everything is with you. Like, I always wear this necklace, right? I've had this necklace now for, I don't know, a year. And, every time I wear it, I know that I feel like consistent. I don't know if it's like an OCD thing or whatever, but whatever. I don't care. It's a consistency. It's a staple in my everyday life, and it's worked off the past year's been awesome. So I would control what I could control. And the first thing I would do is when going to an event, I would buy probably like a box. I would probably buy a box of like Cliff Bars or Power Bars or something to that extent, because that's going to hit all your necessities. And something in your stomach is a lot better than nothing. I mean, I'm still bad with nutrition, right? Like at events. At AGL 7 or AGL, God damn it, at AGL 5 in Tennessee, I think Sunday I had a McDonald's breakfast burrito, and then I had 2 hot dogs. And then in the middle of that, I had like 7 monsters. So nutrition is still something that's still a staple, because it's really fucking hard, man. Even as a caster, even though I can take breaks, even though all of this and that, you get so fucking jittery, right? You're in this tournament scene, and you don't want to move from it. You want to stay involved in everything that is the competitive scene. You want to watch these matches. You want to talk to these players. You want to get to know what he's doing. You want to make friends. It's addicting as shit. It's honestly like the venue life's almost like a big party, minus the booze. But some events you can have booze, so it's like a big party. And I know when like not like a fucking middle school party. Like, I'm talking like a college party. You love the environment, and you want to continue to make friends, but you have to know that your body, in order to play to the best, you have to know that your body needs the fuel. It's a necessity. It really is. The second thing I would do, that this really fucked me for about 3 years. Uh, no, 2 full years of competition. This really was like the staple as to why I suck as like a person and a player. My big thing is I was easily influenced as a kid. As a teenager, and all I wanted to do, I loved gaming, but the thing is I looked up to so many people. You know, I remember AGP3 Saturday night. I must have played. I was up till 3 a.m. Playing 2v2s with Strange Purple, and like I had a match early, or FFAs actually. It was FFAs and 2v2s. I had a match very early Sunday morning, and Doug didn't, or Strange Purple didn't have to play till afternoon-ish. So I mean, he's gonna get more sleep. But so I just really wanted to play. I wanted to prove myself versus him. Okay, and so I was up till late hours. I got home. I went back to the hotel room. My brother's like, "Where the fuck?" And so then I woke up and I played like a big piece of shit. And then the same thing happened at multiple other events. I was so caught up in the scene around me that I didn't actually take care of myself. And so the second thing that you have to be able to control besides nutrition is your sleep. And it's really hard. It really is. You really have to know how to wind yourself down. There's a trick. There's a trick to falling asleep at events. And the one thing is you have to say, fuck what's going on around me. And it's tough, man. It really is, because it's like I said, it's like a big party, but not that everyone's drinking every night, but you just want to hang out with people. You've been talking to them all week or all month on Xbox Live. You finally get to see them. You want to hang out with people. You want to call this kid a trash can. You want to say you're better than someone. I get it. I've been there. But the big thing is you just have to say, I'm here to win an event. That's what's going to happen, period. And so once you do that, then things start getting a little bit better. So the other thing I would have to say for events is that this isn't advice for anyone. This is kind of like the closing statement. The closing statement on events isn't, it's this, right? So I know a lot of people get embarrassed about their placings. I know I used to. Even when I didn't win, I would be embarrassed. Second place is fine. Third place was kind of embarrassing. Fourth place, the two fourth places I got in 2007 were like the biggest embarrassment of my entire career. And that's just that's the nature of the beast. When you want it, you want it. And so those were embarrassments. But the big thing here is I want everyone to know who is getting ready to step foot onto the scene, who's going to go to AGL 6, who's going to go to AGL 7, who's going to go to UMG St. Louis, or I guess it's Chicago now, whatever. Whoever is stepping foot on that setting, whoever is going to be playing split screen next to 17 other people, and you're going to be fucking crowded like this, and there's nothing you can do, you will have already earned my respect. Do I like you as a person? Nah, not necessarily. That's to be decided later on, but you have already earned my respect. Because the big thing here is everyone online that you play who thinks they're good, they'll be like, oh, you went to this event and we kick your ass online. Online means fucking nothing, right? So as soon as you go to an event, it doesn't matter if you lose. First round winners, first round losers. The people who play you online, who don't go to the event and just like to run their mouth, but they're really not anything special, but it's really just online, and it's just online, you're better then. And that is, there's people, I remember back in Halo 2, Soldier 187, Ant, and Legend Pimps they were gods online. They were gods online. And they always used to talk about how good they were, right? And you used to match them, and they had this fucking shitty West Coast host, and I never beat them, ever, online. And so they, in their head, they're like, oh yeah, we could win a Halo 2 event, and then they never did. We won a national championship, and then finally they decided to come out to 2007. I think it was Charlotte, and they got like top 32. And I remember laughing to myself hysterically. I'm like, these kids finally got what's coming to them. Like, who are they? You know, like it was so fucking just like words can't even explain how important that was to me. Like they could have came out if they would have came out and won the event, it would have been like crippling, and I would have been like, okay, well these kids are gods, right? But it's never happened. I want everyone to know when you lose to someone online who's just like a god online. There's never been an instance where they've came out their first event ever as a foursome. They're all four of their first events ever when they showed up to an event. There's never been a team who's won. So you're good. Don't worry. We know. But so I really just wanted to say, you guys all will earn as soon as you play. It doesn't matter if, like I said, you get first rounded, or it doesn't matter if, you set your records and you make it top 8 or you make it top 4 and you make upset cities. It doesn't matter to me. Regardless, you have earned my respect, and you're more important to me than everyone else who just sits online and doesn't do anything. So that's going to do it for Gandhi's Thoughts number 29. Episode 30, I think I'm going to do something special with. I haven't decided what, but I've never done 30 videos of anything. So it's got to be special. So I may do a story of how I got into gaming, or I really don't know. I don't know. I may do, I don't know, whatever. Thank you guys for watching. As always, it's going to throw up on YouTube. Take it easy. Peace.